Welcome to the Sprinkles of Spirit podcast with Lisayogaangel. I'm Lisa, and I am your host. I believe the key to living an inspired life is through living a well-balanced life in our mind, body, and spirit. Join me every Thursday for a journey of self-discovery and transformation as I share with you powerful practices and tools that will empower you to experience personal growth and embody self-love, confidence, and faith. I am so grateful to be here as your guide to living your best life now and remind you that you are exactly where you are supposed to be and you are loved beyond measure. Happy Thursday, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in this week. So if you are new here, I have been starting out the podcast with one cycle of breath, and it's really a powerful way, if you have never tried, to very quickly bring you into the present moment. You know, we're all running around, very connected to the external world around us. And I really want this podcast, this time, that you tune in to really go in, you know, to really hear what's meant to be shared, you know, just for you. So please breathe with me. So go ahead and close your eyes and take a deep inhale through your nose. Fill up all the way, and then let the exhale come gently out of the mouth as you relax your shoulders and soften the jaw. And let a breath come in through your nose. And then slowly open the eyes. Okay. Thank you. So we are, near the end of October, which is crazy, but true. And, you know, I've been doing this podcast for almost a year, which I cannot believe, but I want you to know I've been kind of just taking it as it comes, and I really, truly share with what's given to me, you know, with whatever I'm guided to share, you know, and I kept hearing, you know, the power of prayer, the power of prayer, the power of prayer. And with everything that's going on in the world, which I have to acknowledge, you know, there is a collective heaviness. There's a collective energy of despair, of sadness, fear. And we're all feeling it, especially us empaths or highly sensitive beings. This, you know, if you're somebody who tunes into the TV, I'm sure you are feeling it. And it doesn't surprise me that the power of prayer, the power of prayer, the power of prayer keeps popping up in my mind. And so I'm going to talk about the power of prayer, because prayer is what comes into play, especially for me when, and it can for you, when there's nothing else left to do, to say, nothing else you can possibly do for someone, for the collective, for yourself. I connect to a sense of strength and resilience, and inner peace, even though what's going on is going on, you can still connect to a sense of peace and calmness within you and bring that into your own personal world through the power of prayer. And I'm someone, I was thinking about prayer, and from little, said my mom would say prayers, going to bed at night. And of course, I was taught traditional prayers within the church. But going from little, it was like a sense of fear came with prayer, like praying out of fear of, the repercussions of, whatever quote sins you may have done that week as a child. It was connected with a sense of helplessness and fear. And as I got older, and you grow and you learn, and I have to say, I learned more about the power of prayer and what exactly prayer is. When somebody, if you're someone who's listening and maybe you just don't, you were never even taught what prayer is, you may view prayer as asking for something, right? Asking for something from God or the universe or your creator or source, or a higher wisdom of your own understanding. You may have this view of it's when you sit and ask for something you need or something you want. Well, I'm going to share with you my perspective of prayer and how it's evolved for me through my faith, through the deepening of my connection to God. And that is where my strength and my resilience comes from 100%. Is my connection to knowing I am one with God. I am not separate. I am a living expression of universal consciousness, of the energy of love. And prayer is a way of connecting to God through the Holy Spirit. And I'm going to read to you a little bit from A Course in Miracles, what the Course in Miracles says about prayer. They have a beautiful way of describing it. And they describe it as, prayer is a way of stepping aside, stepping aside and remembering we are not in control. And prayer is a way that's offered by the Holy Spirit to reach God and to remember our connection with God and to remember that we are not separate with each other or with God. And the secret of true prayer is to forget about the things you think you need and instead move into a place of acceptance. So it says also in the same way, in prayer, you overlook your specific needs as you see them and let them go into God's hands. So it's a stepping aside, a letting go, a quiet time of listening and loving. And it's a way of remembering your holiness. So it's really a return to love, and it says, and it is to love you go in prayer. So through prayer, and it can be meditation, it can be a mantra you're saying, it can be sitting with your breath. You go back into love that you are. And it really is an offering of yourself, a letting go of the ego mind and then connecting into your spiritual identity and to remembering the thread that connects us all, which I believe is love and oneness without judgment of who we are, of where we came from, of the color of our skin, of what we do for a living, of what culture we grew up in, of what religion we practice. Like, it's a remembering that there is a power that is holy, that is the essence of unconditional love and peace and compassion and forgiveness and goodness that has no beginning and has no end. And it's a part of life because we are it. We are not separate. We are not separate from each other. We are not separate from God. And I'm going to tell you, when prayer becomes part of your life, it becomes part of your life. And it's something that can change in the form, right? Just as I said, whether you're sitting in a church or a synagogue, or you are sitting on the sand at the beach, or you're in a meditation circle, or you're on your yoga mat, the form can change, but it's a formless state that we drop into, and you drop into total communication and connection with God, with that love, with that sense of peace. And there's power in stepping aside and remembering humility, and prayer becomes that ladder that reaches up to heaven. And at the top, that's where the transformation happens, and that's the power of prayer. So if someone were to say, well, what's the goal of prayer? Is it to get something and it's the power of prayer is the connection back to who you truly are. God is the goal of every prayer. And it's timeless. And if you think about that ladder, there's levels, and I'd say at the bottom of the ladder is where humans use the prayer as a form of asking for this or for that, and I'm not saying you can't, let's say you're praying for protection, but when you pray for another, you also pray for yourself, because there is no separateness. And I hope I'm making sense. I know this can be a little deep. I'm getting into faith here. But if you see, when you pray for another, you also pray for yourself. When you forgive another, you are forgiving yourself. When you judge another, you are judging yourself, because there is no separateness. This is what I have evolved and grown to come to a deep understanding of. I'm not saying I don't struggle with it. Of course I do, because I'm human and I have my ego mind, and I feel angry and I feel disgust and I feel fear, But that's when I step aside. When I don't know what else to do, I don't know what else to say, I can't make sense of a situation, I've done it all. I step aside and I allow myself to pray, and I allow myself a quiet moment And let me tell you something, what I've also learned, and this might be a relief, because some of us are like, you know what? My day is filled with a million things, and I have kids, and I have a job, and I have this, and I have that. And when the heck do you think I have time to go to church? Or when do I have time to go sit on the beach and breathe? And some people may not have had time to even get to the gym or go for a run or get on your yoga mat. Let me tell you something. What I have learned, there is power in every prayer, and your prayer can be a word. It can be 2 words. It can be, I surrender. I hand this over to you. Because today I'm busy, Lord, and I'm placing this in your hands. I trust you. I believe in your power. I believe in miracles, which is the shift in perception from fear back to love. And prayer can take you there. Prayer helps you step aside, step away from the fear, step away from the judgment, step away from the confusion, and return to the love, to the stardust that we all came from. I really believe that. And it's enough, even just a word, 2, 3, a minute. It is enough, because every single prayer is heard. And wherever you start, even if you're at the bottom of the ladder, it's enough. And being willing to go there, it will get easier, and it will be an easy step to the next level, And prayer is a way to true humility. And what is humility? It's remembering we are not in charge. We are not in charge. It's remembering we have no goal, but God's will. May the will of God be, Yeah. And I know there's just a lot going on right now, and I just wanted to talk about the power of prayer, because I really do believe in it. I like to light a candle and take that time to give it over to God, when you don't know what else to say. So I hope some of what I said made sense, hopefully more. But it just kept coming at me, the power of prayer, the power of prayer, the power of prayer. And just remember humility. Humility brings, A Course in Miracles says, humility brings peace because it does not claim that you must rule the universe, nor judge all things as you would have them be. And it's just remembering that there is no separateness, there is only oneness. There's only oneness. And when you pray for another, you're praying for yourself. So yeah, I was going to talk a little bit about Halloween, but I think maybe I'll do a pop-in episode on that, because I just feel like I'm going to leave it at that and read to you your angel message this week, your Sprinkles of Spirit card that I picked. And that is when we are still in the season of fall. So your message this week is a time to heal. I allow myself to receive healing energy through a form of holistic healing practice that resonates with my soul. I believe many of us right now can definitely use a form of holistic healing. And this is definitely your angels telling you, take that time for yourself and, take a class or give yourself 5 minutes, before you leave the house to breathe, or find that holistic healing practitioner that you've been wanting to try, maybe a form of healing that you've been curious about and you just haven't, like try acupuncture or, you know, uh, get a private yoga teacher, a meditation coach. Use aromatherapy in your home. Holistic healing is powerful, and there is a form that will resonate with you. So this is definitely your angels telling you it will be very beneficial for you to do so, and a very healing time for you. It's time. They're saying it's a time to heal. So it's time to give yourself self-love and self-care. A lot of heaviness going on, a lot of heaviness. Take the time for you. Take a salt bath. So many beautiful forms of holistic healing. And pick the one that resonates with your soul, because that's the one that your soul is calling for. And I'm sure there's some of you are listening going, oh yeah, I've always wanted to try that. Try it. Do it this week. So, and one more thing about the power of prayer, view the power of prayer as a form of holistic healing, because it does raise our vibration. And we have a choice, when we walk out the door every day, we have a choice of the energy that we're carrying and the energy that we're bringing into the world, And it's also a choice to live in fear and worry, or to live in faith. Faith and fear cannot coexist. And so remember how powerful prayer is, and think of it and look at it as a form of holistic healing that you can engage in. You can make this connection. You can make it a part of your daily life. And I promise you, it will change you. It will change you. It will raise your vibration. We're walking around anchored in fear, or we can walk around anchored in faith. I believe many of us right now can definitely use a form of holistic healing. And this is definitely your angels telling you, take that time for yourself and, take a class or give yourself 5 minutes, before you leave the house to breathe, or find that holistic healing practitioner that you've been wanting to try, maybe a form of healing that you've been curious about and you just haven't, like try acupuncture or, get a private yoga teacher, a meditation coach. Use aromatherapy in your home. Holistic healing is powerful, and there is a form that will resonate with you. So this is definitely your angels telling you it will be very beneficial for you to do so, and a very healing time for you. It's time. They're saying it's a time to heal. So it's time to give yourself self-love and self-care. A lot of heaviness going on, a lot of heaviness. Take the time for you. Take a salt bath. So many beautiful forms of holistic healing. And pick the one that resonates with your soul, because that's the one that your soul is calling for. And I'm sure there's some of you are listening going, oh yeah, I've always wanted to try that. Try it. Do it this week. So, and remember the free tool we all have right underneath our nose that I start every episode with, and that is our breath. Close your eyes and breathe, and know that you are never alone. Never, ever alone. Yeah. So thank you. Thank you always for being here with me on the Sprinkles of Spirit podcast this year, this journey. Let me know how you guys are doing. Stay connected with me on Instagram for daily inspiration and positive energy. I love sharing that way. And I have several classes, meditation, yoga classes on YouTube, and also on Insight Timer. And I would love to have you there. So thank you. Until next time, have a beautiful week. Namaste.